Welcome to Pop Pod Weekly. My name is Anna.
Hey, it's Becca.
Guys, we are on YouTube today too, so there is a visual for this audio, and we will post that in the description of the episode. If you like watching podcasts on YouTube like I do, then you can see us.
Yes, I love watching podcasts on YouTube.
In our revolutionary fashions.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Becca was meeting me at my house like 20 minutes before the podcast, and I was like still soaking wet coming out of the shower. So I really did not have time to work on my fashions, but
You always look good.
oh, thanks, sis. We are going to talk about sisters today.
Yes, yeah.
And mean sisters.
Oh my God. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills is
sisters.
She's starting.
And even if you don't watch that show, you'll definitely be able to relate to the topics because there are sisters. It's Kathy Hilton, so Paris Hilton's mom, and her sister Kyle. There's a lot of drama. So we are going to talk about that. But I think we should start off by talking about, by congratulating Nick Cannon for having his 9th baby.
Yeah.
Woo.
Oh, what did he name number 9?
I know. I'm trying to figure it out because the children he has now are, so with Mariah Carey were his first kids. So Morocco
and Monroe.
And Monroe.
Yeah.
And then his third baby is Golden Saigon. That's
Beautiful.
very dramatic. Love it.
Yes, love it.
And then Powerful Queen is his next daughter, which is so sweet.
PQ. Would you? I guess she would probably go by PQ, right?
Yeah, or Queenie.
Or Queenie. That's cute.
Abby de la Rosa, Zion, Zillion Hair. So it's like zillionaire, but hair being like in Harris.
Yeah,
so
zillionaire.
But I guess air is like the male version of Eris. Then he has Zen, who passed away 5 months ago of a brain tumor, which we've talked about on the podcast before. Super sad.
Yes.
Then baby number 8 is Legendary Love.
He really goes, he has 2 different styles of names. He does the double long ones.
Yeah.
And then I guess they're all kind of long, but like, yeah, it's pretty.
They're pretty.
The naming's intense.
And then he's got another one that he had today, but why are they not saying the name?
Well, they might not have. The new trend is that nobody names their
kids. It takes a
kids.
long time to figure out the name. Hold on. I'm going to go on his social media. Yeah, so I hope Nick Cannon makes a lot of money. He must.
Yeah, I'm
because he has no fear.
And he does work a lot.
He does work a lot. He's always working. Okay, this is a story. I'm going to turn this down. So Onyx Ice Coal Canyon is the new one.
Onyx. That sounds like a resort. We went to a resort last year called
Onyx now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we went to a resort called Onyx last year. Onyx Ice Coal Canyon.
Ice coal.
So once again, today I am in awe of the divine feminine.
Thank you, Nick.
Yeah, God has given me and Miss Lanisha Cole the privilege. Oh, so they incorporated Lanisha's last name into the baby's name because it's Onyx Ice Coal Canyon. I love that. I love a incorporation. Like my son's middle name is Townsend. I'm like, I love that, guys. I did it too.
It's so smart. I did it as well.
Yeah, only geniuses. Okay. So, yeah, there you go. But when we were talking about Nick Cannon, we were talking about who has more children than Nick Cannon, and Elon Musk has 10 children now. So he's been married. Elon Musk, is he a billionaire? He must be by now.
Yeah, because he was going to buy Twitter for something in the billions.
Oh, yeah. He was going to buy planet Earth.
Yeah, exactly. He had a contract with Earth.
So he's got 10 children. He was married twice. I think he had 5 kids when he was married the first time,
Yeah,
right?
he was. Actually, if anyone is looking for something to watch, go on YouTube. And his ex-wife, there's a documentary that, I don't know if she put it together or I'm not sure, but if you Google ex-wife, it's like an hour-long thing of her explaining her relationship with him and going through them having their children and how they met. And he sounds like Looney Tune.
Yeah.
Which I think we already all knew, but.
Right. Because, so he has 3. Okay, so he just had 3 newborns
Yeah,
join
'cause
the
he had-
family.
well,
That's
he
just so ridiculous.
He had 5 with the first wife, I believe.
He has 2 or 3 with Grimes.
Yeah, and then didn't he just...
He has 3 newborns that maybe were from the surrogate.
And then Amber, there was like this...
Second child. Oh, on again, off again. Oh, him and Grimes used a surrogate.
Okay, to have their second child.
Well, I'm just like, also with Grimes, it's like, I think she's also very like high tech out there. She's kind of like, she's on an Elon Musk vibe.
Yeah, definitely. And she has a lot of resources because she's from a wealthy family. So I feel like when you're from a wealthy family...
She's from Montreal, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, they've got twins, the new twins, and the 3 newborns are Griffin, Vivian, Kai. 3 newborns?
No, the children living... 3 newborns join Musk's and his other 6 children.
Oh.
The other living children... That's a really weird...
We're trying to read something in page 6.
He did have one child who passed away.
Okay.
That's why they wrote the
right,
other living
of sudden
children.
Infant death.
Yeah, because
Okay.
she goes over that. That was with the first wife.
Yes. Okay. So he's got, he's going to continue growing his family through IVF. Anyway, guys. Oh, Vivian came out as transgendered in 2022 and has filed a request to change her first name and take the last name of her mom. Oh yeah. So one of his children does not want to be a Musk.
Right. Yeah.
I remember
when
that.
that came out.
Yes.
And everyone was like, well,
Yeah.
kind of might be a few benefits to being a Musk, but
Yeah.
if you're in your angsty phase.
And then we can't say his other children's name with Grimes because it's
AEA-X11 or...
Yeah, anyway, she's, Grimes. She got creative with it.
Oh, you can tell that baby was born in Canada because it has this signature little...
Canadian blanket.
Yeah. Sweet.
All right. So anyway, guys.
Go procreate if you're inspired by Nick or Musk.
Yeah, exactly.
You too can have a herd of 10.
Yeah. Okay, so people have been talking. Do you guys know who Cara Delevingne is? I know, obviously, but I feel like some people don't. Because she's kind of like...
She's not someone I follow that much.
Yeah, because she's a model. She's an actress.
Yes.
She's an it girl, I think, more than anything.
Oh, absolutely.
But she was in Burning Man. So Burning Man just happened, and I've been watching Burning Man TikToks. And Burning Man is very interesting. You would hate it.
I know.
I've
also been watching Contact, and I would hate it.
But I feel like one of the things that everyone's wearing like masks and goggles because I guess the sand in the desert like gets into your lungs and makes you feel sick for like a month. But
yes.
I think it's like an insane amount of people go to Burning Man. I need to look this up.
Yeah. And they actually burn a man at the end. Not a real man, but
just a big, huge.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize
I could see it being a big year this year, though, because more than ever have people been feeling down with the man.
And you wear a lot of costumes, and apparently people... Okay, so... Yeah, there's almost like 100,000 people that go to Burning Man.
It looks like the trippiest. I feel like I'd have a panic attack if I went there.
Or they say $80,000 actually, or 80,000 people.
Yeah.
So yeah, the costumes look really great. But anyway, I don't know that much about Burning Man other than you need to be sexy, you need to be dancing, and wearing goggles so sand doesn't go into your eyes.
Yeah, and I'm gonna make an assumption. You probably are gonna need to be on drugs for it to make sense.
Yeah, I think it's the TikToks I've watched, people are doing like acid, and like they're probably doing like they're having like spiritual awakenings. Yeah. So you know how like psychedelics are supposed to like
they're really soothing.
Really, yeah. Unless you're me.
Psychedelics terrify me.
They are terrifying. So anyway, if you like that.
Yes.
Actually, I was listening to a Logan Paul episode where he was talking about like he almost like died at Burning Man because he took so much acid, and then he like thought he was like running around naked and like tried to like escape, and it sounded miserable. But Paris Hilton was at Burning Man. She's still going.
Party. And, oh my God, I wonder how
I'll show you a
Carter
picture.
feels about that. Because if anybody
I feel
watched,
like Carter's already gone.
He's
not in any of her pictures.
I bet he's gone because he was annoying her just before they were getting married when they did that little show. Already, I could tell he was just cramping her style. He was cramping my style, and I was just watching him on TV. He was annoying me.
Yeah, go on to Paris Hilton's Instagram if you want to see her cute outfits for Burning Man.
Oh,
It looked like she
wow.
flew in on a private jet, and she also had like
See,
a golf cart. It looked she made it look chic.
Yeah, I love her ski goggles. Yeah, she had an amazing outfit. She's so cute.
But yes, Cara Delevingne went to Burning Man, and ever since people have just been following her around with a camera because she looks like she's having the hangover from hell.
She probably is.
She probably is. I wouldn't be that. I know people are really worried about her. I would not be that worried about her in the way that like if you party for a week and you party hard and then someone like spies on you in your backyard as you're like dropping your phone and having a nervous breakdown, like that's totally normal. Margot Robbie is like her best friend, and apparently they were both like crying in her backyard. Yes, I have to.
Oh my God, this makes me like her more. I love Margot Robbie.
Yeah, Margot Robbie was at Cara Delevingne's house and like left crying or something.
Oh my
like
God,
that.
I love this. Do you know why I love them though? Is they are very early 2000s in their behavior and looks.
Yeah, they're not like being fake.
They're not polished little Instagram people.
No. So there's, according to page 6, there's pictures of a distressed Margot Robbie after leaving Cara Delevingne's house. So she leaves crying too. She's just hungover too, guys.
I don't want to shock anybody, but I've had a few party nights in my 20s that ended in a lot of tears too.
Yeah.
And mental breakdowns.
I love this. This thing they wrote. Paparazzi snapped Robbie, 32, on Monday with her face scrunched up and seemingly wiping tears from her face as she walked out of the LA residence with a suitcase. Well,
yeah,
you can scrunch up your face.
Yeah, she's probably having an anxiety attack. Like she's
and
like,
Cara is.
Oh my God, I love how Cara looks.
Yeah, Kara's just like hacking butts and looking.
Is she shoeless as well, or are those
She's
socks?
shoeless. Her hair looks like your daughter's hair.
Yeah, and we also just
literally, I'll put a picture side by side of Cara Delevingne's hair and Becca's daughter's hair.
I know, and she's wearing a Britney shirt too.
Yeah,
I love that.
Okay, so so apparently the only thing that might be a little worrisome is she was doing a collab with some fashion brand and she didn't show up.
Yeah, well, that's also something that happens when you party and all of a sudden
you're
when
like, you know what? I don't care about that.
Exactly.
Yeah, so we should move on to Britney because this
That's
is become a Britney
before we do
podcast.
that, what was the Housewives when someone was like, no, it was on Below Deck and they went out partying the first night.
Oh,
the
then
girl
quit
was
the
like,
next day?
Yeah, well, no, she was like, I think I have like food poisoning. And
Oh, yeah, no.
they were like, no, it's
You
called
don't.
being deathly hungover and it's a side effect of partying.
Yeah.
Missing your job opportunities is a side effect of partying.
Yeah, if I had a penny for every time in my early 20s I told the people I worked for that I had food poisoning.
I know. And meanwhile, I've never had
I'd be
food
like, I didn't
poisoning.
even drink that much. It's like, yeah, you did, bitch.
Or when people are like, guys, I'm pretty sure I was drugged last night. And you're like, you mean you drugged yourself?
Yeah. I saw you doing drugs.
I did see you doing drugs last night.
Yeah, so
Okay,
Britney, I knew it was going to come crumbling down at some point. So anyway, free Britney regardless. Just because people are weird and say does not mean they need to be in conservatorships. Okay, but Britney put her foot in her mouth.
Britney's like 20 years.
Well, she's 15 years delayed because she was in the conservatorship. So here's what she wrote on her Instagram. She wrote, by no means was I being critical. Oh, no, that's her apology. Sorry, guys. Okay,
Start from the beginning.
She posted a Rodney Dangerfield quote, which is just so outdated anyway, because that's like a comedian from the 90s, right? So, and the quote is, I found there was only one way to look thin, hang out with fat people. Okay.
And everyone was kind of like, and this was her first quote after she had left Instagram, wasn't it?
Yeah,
She
I
had
think so.
quit for a few days because I remember in my friend group chat, all of a sudden it was like, Britney's back and it's
Britney's
not
back.
good.
Yeah, and so then she said, I wish I could have, so the caption for that post was, I wish I could have chosen the nannies for my children, which I have always said, that sucks that she didn't get to
And
do
she
that.
keeps bringing that up a lot. She's really annoyed about that.
Yeah, well, because she's like, had to use Kevin and now he's just turning the kids against me. Okay. And my dancers. So basically she wishes she could have chosen her dancers. I mean, if I had Christina Aguilera's dancers, I would have looked extremely small. And then she did the dancing girl emoji. I mean, why not talk about it? Don't you think my confidence would have been a bit better if I got to choose where I lived, ate, whom I called on the phone, dated, who I was on stage with? It's hard sometimes now. I see so much of how my womanhood was stripped away at that time, and every person sat back and did nothing. Anyways, we'll be here talking about things that people never talk about. So everyone was like, burn for Christina or the dancers. Well, first of all, it's like, I don't even know what the word for it is, but it's that smaller is better. Smaller is not better.
Yeah.
So just because, you want to look thin, so you're hanging out with bigger people because what? Thinner is better. It's that assumption again that like no matter what happens in the universe, the thinner person wins.
Yeah, which is
so it's just wrong.
That's why Britney's that's why I'm like,
she's
like,
out of touch. Like
exactly.
It's like, no, we're not saying that skinny is the best anymore.
Yeah.
And then also like, okay, so you're criticizing you're saying Christina only looks good because she picked dancers that.
And also like no one, like why are we even talking about Christina?
So are you, why? Exactly. So anyway, apparently
which just
Paris Hilton unfollowed her.
Which I don't like.
Yeah. I don't like either. That's a fair weather friend.
Yes. People, right now, she needs friends. She needs, the conversation she's having are the conversations she needs to be having
behind
in
the
private
scenes
with friends and getting it all out. And she's doing it publicly because everyone has those feelings. Like just putting your body, she clearly has body issues. And of course she does.
And she said
How
they
could
called her
she
fat
not?
every single day.
Of
so
course.
she has body issues and she has
The
a
whole
messed up.
world laughed hysterically at her when she was like 10 pounds heavier than her teenage self.
Yeah, exactly. When she went on the MTV Music Awards and everyone said she looked obese
and compared her to Miss Piggy.
Yeah.
And tore her to shreds. So I'm sure she has a lot of body issues, as does every woman.
And again, there's nothing wrong with being in a bigger body, but let's face it, the media will tear her apart for that. So they're the ones projecting on there that smaller is better.
Exactly. And she's saying, like, I'm just talking about things that no one's talking about because in one way I do know what she means because everyone's like body positivity, body positivity. But the old thing is still true. Smaller is better. No matter how many.
Right. And it's not better. Like we're not saying we personally think it's better. We're saying people are rewarded for being smaller sizes.
Like we've talked about Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, exactly. Like Kim Kardashian now is being up-leveled as a celebrity for being a smaller size. And Kim even says that she couldn't even get anyone to dress her body before she was who she is now and working with Kanye. Like people were just like, no, you're too big. I'm not putting clothes on your body.
And then like Khloe was also, the whole entire world laughs hysterically at her. And then she changes her whole entire body.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I don't think she had to do that, obviously. But she clearly has issues.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, it's super frustrating how it seems to never change. But yeah, I think for friends, I wouldn't unfollow one of my friends. I would check in on them and see what was happening. I'd be like, oh my gosh, you're posting this on social media. That's not like cool. And this is the damage you can do. Like, let's talk about this. Yes. How are you feeling? Like,
or how about coming out publicly? This might be bold, but how about coming out publicly and being like, Britney is not well because she suffered abuse.
I wouldn't say she's not well because she does not like it when people
Sorry.
say that.
Okay, maybe not well.
Like when her kids said, you need, I'll talk to you when you, what did they say? Yeah. And she was like, no, what did they say?
No, they said,
talk to you when you're,
I'm praying for you.
I'm praying for you. And she's like, praying for what?
Yeah, praying for what? No, okay, I wouldn't say.
Because she doesn't like it when people do that.
But she clearly has issues because she was in a traumatic situation. So we're dealing with somebody who is on like -1 step of recovery. From being essentially kidnapped.
Yeah, kidnapped and exactly.
So one of her friends could maybe just come out and say, can we have a little bit of grace and compassion for this person while they navigate this new life?
So update on it. So then she posts her apology, which was, by no means was I being critical of Christina's beautiful body. It is what it is. I don't know what that means, but I flew to see Christina. She's like, it is what it is.
She's like, it's fine. Like, it is what it is.
Yeah. I flew to see her show once, and the main thing I noticed was the difference of our people on stage. By no means did I even mention Christina. Look at my post. I was inspired by her show, and she is a beautiful woman of power. Thank you, Xtina, for inspiring me. To be honest, I'm not trying to be critical of anybody. What I posted is a projection of the insecurities I deal with all at the same time as a result of how my parents and the media have treated me. So exactly, like she can make a good statement. I wonder if she wrote this.
I was wondering that as well.
I would never intentionally body shame anyone because I know what it feels like. I struggle with this because of how I feel about myself, not because I hate how anybody looks. I feel like my family knew I was insecure and people were trying to purposely feed into my insecurities by not letting me have a choice of the people who were on stage with me. But I'm like, were you only going to hire people that you look better than, or like in your eyes? She's like, my dancers were too good looking, guys. And they made me look ugly.
It's almost like that. I feel like there used to be this like type of movie, and I don't even know if it's made anymore because I don't watch movies really, where like there'd always be the pretty girl and then like the ugly friend. Yeah. It's like she's still operating on those like 90s.
She's like really mad that she didn't get to pick her dancers. I'm like, I wonder what all Britney's dancers are thinking right now. Yeah. Are they like taking it as a compliment? Because they're like, we apparently were so hot that Britney felt insecure.
Yeah. A lot of her dancers were guys.
Yeah. Weren't they like her besties?
Yeah, a few of them, because one of them passed away.
So maybe she didn't like the people she was on stage with. Maybe it's more like the connection she didn't have with them. Because she's like, by not letting me have the choice of the people who were on stage with me. I'm like, so did you not like the people that were on stage with you? She's probably bitter too, because she also said in another, unlike I think in her YouTube video, that she was bitter that they'd all go out partying in Vegas and she had to stay home. So maybe she just thought they were... Maybe she's just like, nobody saved me. You guys were all getting paid and I didn't I think
they were told like not to talk to her as well.
So wrong. So she says, I appreciate you all being understanding with me as I figure out this new life I'm living. So that was her apology. And then her next post was her and Paris Hilton at the wedding. So she posted a picture of her and Paris. And Paris did comment, Sliving, that's Paris's new thing if you guys don't know.
I know.
Sliving, sis, such an epic night. Love you.
When did Paris unfollow her?
Maybe she didn't unfollow her.
I know. Do we know this for sure?
I looked and she wasn't following her, but they must be following again. I don't know. And then Britney posted some dance videos where she started to cry. And then she did a free ad for Baltos carrot juice. Which I'm still jealous.
I know. Why couldn't she have put the fitness?
I know. No fair. They got a free ad.
I don't know. Britney is like the...
Yeah.
Britney is the riddle we just can't.
We just can't.
We just can't,
y'all. We just can't solve. Okay, so that's what's happening with Brit. Who else did we have to deep dive on here? So, we were going to talk about our Real Housewives situation.
Oh, yes.
Not ours, but our girls.
Yeah. Beverly Hills is really good this season.
It is really good this season. I definitely recommend you watch it, even if you haven't started it in the past. Like binge it; it's so freaking good.
Oh my God. I was talking to someone the other day who hadn't watched it. And if you just go back and watch season 1 and 2 of Beverly Hills, it's some of the best reality TV ever. It has, they just cover like so much in 2 seasons. There's like addiction, there's sister stuff, there's financial fraud, there's
racism,
Yeah.
there's like basically like group dynamics with women, which I think is like super interesting.
Yeah.
How do you talk to other people's children?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's there's so much that they talk about and that goes on behind the scenes. I think that's the thing that's like crazy with Beverly Hills too, because more happens on social media between them than even on the show. But so we've talked about this before, but Kyle Richards has 2 sisters. Kim used to be on the show, her younger sister. They were all child actors.
Yes.
Kim used to be on the show, and Kim was an alcoholic, drug addict, super messy on the show. Now she's not on the show. And I'm wondering if it's just because she's like, I could never go back and put myself in that position again.
I don't know if they'd even take her because it got so bad towards the end. Remember, she was like dating that guy
that she met at the mailbox.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was so sketchy. He looked exactly like Brittany Murphy's husband.
Yes. Yeah. He did.
So, Google that, guys.
Yeah.
But then, so what happens now is Kathy is Kyle's older sister, and she has joined the show. Kathy is Paris Hilton's mom, and I feel like Kathy doesn't need the show, obviously. It's Kathy Hilton. She's very wealthy.
Yes.
So
and like a lot of people go on for fame, and she kind of has fame.
She's already
anyways.
famous. Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of like, so she keeps trying to advertise their new tequila, like her and her, is it both daughter, Nikki and Paris?
Yeah, but I think it is Eva Longoria's. I think it's a celebrity tequila, but there's a few investors. And yeah, the Hiltons are in on it. I believe Eva Longoria, and then I feel like one other celeb.
Yeah, it's really funny though, because she keeps being like, hey guys, let's have a little
who wants to have a little shot here?
Yeah, and what was the and she's like, it's so smooth. I don't normally like tequila, but it's so smooth.
I think every other tequila tastes like garbage.
And then Lisa Renna, who's shady lady, goes up to the bar and she's like, you know what? I'm gonna have a shot of 818, my friend Kendall Jenner's. Yeah. And then Kathy was like, I'm leaving. Like, had a complete meltdown.
Well, and then did you see when she said to the bartender, so they're having the 818 and Lisa Renna's just like, she's like, that's sweet. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
And the bartender was like, I know, right? And then Kathy goes over.
Yes.
And this was kind of like muffled, but she's like, can you pour my tequila and have my
on the
tequila
bar?
On the bar? Because I guess I thought other people would do it, but I guess if you're not going to do it,
and
then I'll have to do it myself. And the bartender, you could tell the bartender was just like, you're
a bitch.
Yeah, even the way, that was like such a glimpse because I'm like, the way she treated that girl was rude.
Yeah, it was really rude. And the thing is, for Kathy, it's like she's making it a little too clear that she's on there to push products, which is supposed to be a reality show. So you're just supposed to just be a fly on the wall.
Yes,
exactly. It's like you're not supposed to be like product placement so obvious. Like if it naturally happens, great. But like
and they did a flashback of her like asking them, and then them like straight up being like, we don't want to do more shots of tequila.
I know. And then I feel like they're kind of doing her dirty. And I feel like Kathy is the type that will be like, I will sue you because I went on this show. Kathy's also like kind of, she's older, like probably in her 60s, right?
Oh, yeah. Because Paris is almost like 40. She's probably closer to.
Yeah, she's probably mid 60s.
Yeah.
So she's like, probably in her head, she's like, why else would I go on this show if I can't promote my tequila? Like that's pretty much what she's saying.
Yes,
she's like, I don't want to be here if you're not going to promote my tequila.
Yeah. And I think she's made it pretty clear that she doesn't want to be there.
Yeah.
She's always like, I'm going back to bed.
And she's like, I'm wearing sweats.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't want to bring any of my good purses on the trip. So she's literally using a satchel from the grocery store. This is like a billionaire.
Yes. Yeah.
She's like, I don't want to bring my good purses. It's like, you do realize you're filming a TV show. Like everyone else is coming like Louis Vuitton, Fendi, Gucci.
It's
and
like,
she
if
had
not now,
a
when?
beach bag.
Yeah.
For like groceries.
I know. And Kyle did say that.
She's like,
heaven
what?
forbid you waste the good bags on this.
Like, what are you saving your purses for?
Yeah.
She's like, well, I hang out with Michael Jackson. Well, he's dead, but her best friend. Who she likes to bring up often.
Yes, yeah.
But yeah, so I find that Kyle, this is why it's so interesting to watch, definitely has like this bit, like she's a little sister, and I feel like she has this like stress and anxiety around her big sister, because when they went to was it her Aspen house? She's got several homes, but remember she like ran in and she was like, the Christmas lights are here. I need to take the Christmas lights down.
I think that was the La Quinta house.
Oh yeah, and she was like tearing them off the deck because she didn't want Kathy to see them.
Yeah.
But then when Kathy comes, she like kind of tries to dig at Kathy, basically to make Kathy look super like dramatic and
like
high maintenance.
Yeah, high maintenance. Yeah.
So she's always like kind of dissing her, which apparently people have been commenting on social media that Kyle's being like really mean to Kathy. And Paris and Nikki have been liking all the posts.
I know. Well, she is kind of being mean.
She is mean. Like, she's always like, oh my, like, basically she put Kathy in bunk beds.
Yeah.
Which, I'm sorry, I'm not a Hilton and I wouldn't want to sleep in bunk beds.
I wouldn't either.
And that might sound snobby, but I just don't want to.
I do frequently have to sleep in bunk beds.
Yeah, you do.
At the cottage. And I mean, I'll do it, but it's not my preferred. Like, yeah, and I'm not Kathy Hilton.
Exactly. So she was in bunks, and then Kyle was like, you need to hang up your stuff. She's like, you left me no room. And she's like, it's just elder abuse.
I know. And then Kyle does pull the Carver. She's like, sorry, it's just a small house.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Kathy's like, oh, no, it's great.
Nice.
Dookie.
Yeah. Dookie. Yeah.
Do you remember, it's just a side note.
Yeah.
Do you remember that episode where Kyle went over to her house for dinner for lunch, and the person at their house, whoever was making them, the chef, I guess, but it wasn't really a chef lunch, brought out a baked potato.
Yeah.
And Kyle was like, what is this the appetizer? Is this the main? And she was like, this is the lunch.
This is the lunch.
And it was just a big baked potato.
A big baked potato, which, okay, so this was what they did. They ended up, they each had a little spoon.
Yeah.
Kathy's just, I think it's like when you live in too many hotels.
I think so too.
Because she's like, she was like, do you have your spoon, Kyle? And Kyle's like, yes, I have my spoon. So then they open up the baked potatoes. I think they put butter on it, and then they layered it with caviar. They started spooning on it.
Yeah.
And Kyle was just like, what? A baked potato with caviar on top? But apparently some restaurant makes it, like probably some LA restaurant that like she loves to go to.
Yeah, you're right. That is probably a side effect of living in too many hotels where you're like ordering
like I like the
baked potato
from the Hilton.
Mozzarella.
Yeah, exactly. Like she's just like only knows like these, and when she eats at home, they eat on TV trays. And remember they were eating like Ritz crackers. She was like, do you have your Ritz crackers, Kyle?
Yeah.
It's like, can't just decide if they're trash or really fancy.
I know, but then there's something about them
that I understand.
That I so understand and is really comforting. Like, so mine and Anna's mom has 3 sisters, and they're kind of like hardcore, and they remind us of these 3 sisters.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Except for they're not glamorous. They don't wear makeup or anything.
Yes, no.
But they're like, there's a lot of dynamics at play.
Yeah, that are very similar with the 3 sisters to our mom and our
strong
aunts.
Personalities.
Yes, yeah. And a hierarchy that must be.
Yes. That's why I like being the boss of you.
Yeah, exactly. We know you have the rainbow. A brown paper bag. I'm the little girl in the brown paper bag. Anyways,
yeah, so it's really interesting to watch that. And then coming up, Kathy has a complete meltdown where they all go out drinking, and then something happens. I don't know.
We don't know. We're going to find out next week. It's to be continued. But wait, before that happened, so when the 818 happened with Lisa Rinna, Kathy was just like, I'm leaving. She's
like, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Yeah. And then Kyle should have had her back, but didn't. But then I kind of get Kyle because she's like, we're just drinking and having fun. Do I need to like get in a fight with someone?
Yeah.
But then I liked when they got back home and Kathy was already in her pajamas and Kyle was like, thankfully Kathy just forgot about what happened. And Kathy was like, hi guys.
Yeah,
I
she was
was
in her
Kathy
PJs, like drinking a Coke.
Yeah. Kathy probably like popped a pill or something.
Yeah, she knows what she's doing. And then so there's a lot going on, and I like it too because there's like the friendship dynamic, because then one of the girls, Erica, who's basically a criminal, some people were getting mad at her, so she ended up leaving Kyle's house in a huff. And so Kyle's best friend went with her to like help her and comfort her so she wasn't alone, and left the house and slept out of the house.
She was crying.
Yeah, and then Kyle was like, if you don't fucking come back to my house for dinner tonight, I'm going to be pissed, and was like crying. And I was like, I would be too, because that's like pretty much like you're drawing a, like, you're like, I'm not getting caught in the middle. But sometimes, what do you guys think about this? When people say they don't want to be in the middle, so they're not choosing sides.
I know, it's tough because
when you're not choosing sides, you are choosing a silent side.
yeah, well, and Dorita wasn't even silent because she was like, I'm only going to her defense because she only has one other friend and you have 5 friends. So she's essentially saying, she said, like, I stayed with Erica because you have 5 girls with you.
Yeah.
And Erica has 1, which is Diana. So I'm like, she's not even sitting the fence. She's like, I'm going to
go over with her.
Yeah, and miss your stuff because Erica
And it was like, well, it's Erica's fault for telling everyone to go to hell and screaming her head off.
Yeah.
And ripping off orphans and widows.
Which I feel like Kyle forgave Erica so easy and like just kind of.
Oh, Kyle's a spineless. Like,
I
she's
feel like
literally.
she only had that breakdown to tell the people later and at the reunion to be like, I was upset with Erica.
No,
that
and
she
I feel like she had that breakdown because she can't handle it that Dorit. Because she treats Dorit like one of the sisters. Like, I feel like Dorit, she treats like a little sister.
Yeah.
So she was more mad that Dorit didn't say like, oh my God, are you okay, Kyle?
Yeah.
And stay with Kyle.
Yeah, which is so funny because you see the sisters, Kathy was upset that Kyle,
Didn't
the younger
do
sister,
that.
didn't do that to her. So
Yeah.
it's like the sister hierarchy is like the younger
It's
sister
like
is
shit
not
rolls
falling
downhill.
in line. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, Kathy's being mean to Kyle, so Kyle's being mean to Dorit. So Dorit's being mean to Crystal.
Exactly. And Crystal, oh my God. I think I'm there where I actually like Crystal
They better
now.
leave Crystal on the show because they need the devil's advocate on these shows. Otherwise, they all like kiss each other's asses and protect each other. And
I feel like they do need, some housewives need like a little time to evolve.
Mm-hmm.
And Crystal is like just starting to get her stride and she's like we're almost at the end of this season.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm finally like, yeah, we need her. I don't want them to get rid of her because she says stuff like when Dorit was like, well, Erica just feels like everyone's just talking about like victims and victims and victims. And she was like, well, there are
victims.
I'm like, finally, like we need Crystal like being like, that is the truth. Because otherwise then we're just living in this imaginary land.
Well, Erica literally, direct quote, was like, I only care about me.
Yeah, and she
I don't care about victims.
And then she actually told Kyle that Kyle shouldn't either.
Yeah, and that's when Kyle got mad because Kyle was like, you can't say that, Erica. You can't say you don't care about victims.
Yeah.
And then that's when Erica went psycho and was like, yes, I can. And like packed up all their stuff and left. And then Dorit went with her.
Yes. And when they made up
with Diana, who's literally Satan.
Yeah, I hope Diana leaves. I don't even want to see her. She
is evil.
Yeah, she does not give me a good.
No, she reminds me of, remember that girl that tried to trick us?
Yeah. Me and Anna.
And she was also blonde and very modelly looking.
Okay, I'll tell you guys this story very quickly. Me and Anna had another business a really long time ago, and it was a magazine, and we hired a sales person to sell ads for us, and we've come to find out she actually worked for our competition and she came into our company as a mole.
And she was a model. So
yeah, and she also was she was like, I can do modeling, I can do sales. And
we
were
did.
Like,
she did
perfect.
do modeling for us.
Yeah. We were like, that works for both. And then she was like, tricked you, I was a mole and I was just getting all the information.
Yeah, because we were like, that's kind of mean. And then she was like, well, sucks to be you.
She was like, sucks to be you.
That's who she reminds me of.
Yeah, I know. That's so funny.
Yeah.
God damn that
girl. Those pretty faces. They trick you every time.
Yeah. Yeah.
So definitely check out that show.
Yeah. So good.
And then, okay, I just want to talk about my TikToker.
Oh yeah, let's talk
Tara's
about some
World.
yeah.
So Tara, I've been watching Tara's World. We have, because basically she's a TikToker. She had 4.8. Now she's down to 4.7. Let me see if she's gone down more.
Most people have heard of her at
She's kind
first.
of like a cult. Like, I'm definitely too old to watch her. Like, what is wrong with me?
Oh, well, we clearly have a lot of issues.
It's called Arrested Development.
Yeah, we today when we were coming down here, everyone, Anna went to go put down her window to get the parking stub, and it
was the back window.
Yeah, and we were laughing.
And then I had to get out of the car anyway because it was like 10 feet away from my window.
Yeah, we clearly have issues.
I have issues. So she has 4.7. She's kind of like a college girl, except for she doesn't go to college, but she's just like big hoodies, no pants.
She just has that perfect, like,
she does
watchable. She's just that person that you can just like kind of watch them do anything, and they're like not overly attractive to the point where you're like, this isn't fair.
Yeah, she's just like your average girl, and her like, this is why I love TikTok and why I need to quit going on it, because it's so addictive. But it's very like fly on the wall. Like, it's like watching someone's every day. Like, they'll just like, people will literally just wake up, roll out of bed, drink coffee, and just make it a video.
Yeah.
So you're just so in it, and then they usually include all their drama and all of that. But
yeah.
Unfortunately, she had a Kim Kardashian moment where she was like, people don't want to work these days. And then that triggered a lot of people against her that then started going through her old tweets and found racist tweets and tweets about, I can't even remember, just, kind of talking about like poor people, and like they were just really bad. Like,
yeah, is she from, what's her background? Like, is she from a wealthy family?
No,
or
she's not. So that's her thing though. But now she's going too hard. She's like, guys, I used to have nothing to eat, and I used to work day after day for nothing, and I couldn't afford anything. So, but the question is, when you're 16, like, and you have social media, this is just a lesson. Like, when your brain isn't fully developed and you are posting things that you think are funny on the internet, they don't go away.
No. Yeah, I know. There needs to be, I think that's kind of why they put age limits on it.
Right.
So like, your brain is.
But I think the age limit is 13.
I know. It's too low. It is 13. I mean, it's way too low.
She's basically now crumbling at the seams because people have put all this stuff up, and it just like begs the question, do you even want your kids on social media making these like terrible decisions? And
no, you don't. No,
I know.
Teens are like, being a teenager.
That's why I'm so glad there wasn't social media when we were. Yeah. And she's chalking it up to that she was on a lot of Xanax and that she was hanging out with terrible people, which you can't really blame hanging out with other people. Like, that's a super cop-out. Yeah. To be like.
It's hard. These conversations are hard for me because when I was a teenager, I was fully aware of what racism was. So I'm like, when people are like, well, I was younger then, it's like, okay.
But that's still, exactly. No, I agree. There's certain things that there's just no excuse. Like,
like, and mostly like when someone says like the N-word and they're like, I didn't know. It's like, well, I
you did.
always, like, my kids know that. And there's like, they knew that at like 5 and 7. Like,
exactly. Yeah.
So I'm like, that's not really ever appropriate. But then at the same time, sometimes teens say things to be
controversial, and then they don't realize that that's hurtful and not.
Yeah, like they almost think it's maybe funny to be controversial or like badass, but they don't realize. I don't know. I know teens are embarrassing for everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Everybody involved.
So I've kind of stopped following her because now she's just making like video. It's just like you just feel awkward watching them because I feel like she's trying to win back her audience, which is making it more awkward.
Yes. I feel like she's also kind of getting to, just to go deep on Tara's getting to like a point where I think she either needs to be done with social media or like go at it from a new direction. Because she has talked before that she's like kind of bored, getting depressed. Like, I don't know how many like.
I
booze
think she
cruise-
probably could be better just doing like the simple stuff. It's like when she tries like, it's almost like when people try to be comedians, but they just don't have the skills.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, because she was like making kind of a joke of like, nobody wants to work these days, but it came off really out of touch and really bad.
And if your entire catalog isn't comedy, but you're like, well, no, that was me being funny. It's
Yeah,
like, okay,
they're
well,
like,
that's
but you're not
different.
like a funny person. So
Yeah,
it's just kind of like,
yeah, like throwing. Yeah, I know. And I kind of feel like that in general. Like she's trying to find her. We should get the Weekend Roundup girls to do like a marketing audit on her.
Yeah.
Because I feel like she's trying to find her way. Like she was doing those, like she went on the cruise and stuff, but then she was like, that was like lonely and boring. So I'm like, okay, well,
She
then
just did
don't
another
do that.
cruise.
But I feel like she doesn't
I know.
like doing that.
I know.
And then she tried the dog walking thing, which was a lot of funny content.
yeah.
But then she clearly doesn't want to be walking dogs all day.
No.
I feel like she's trying to like figure out.
She does have an OnlyFans.
I know.
So that makes her a lot of money.
And that kind of makes me sad for her.
Yeah, me too.
But maybe she's happy with that. I don't know. I'm torn on OnlyFans because I do feel like we're normalizing sex work a little too much. And I'm worried that there will be.
Like if you don't know the realistic, like you have to, like some people love it and do really well with it. And
Some people are traumatized
and some people,
by it.
yeah, they might not. They could get into situations that are dangerous,
Or they could trauma that
or they could put things like, I don't know. I would be nervous about like people can put out professional content and they're like, I mean, like people make a ton of money off of it and enjoy it, or at least feel like it's an equal, feel like they're getting something out of it. But then there's some people that it could lead down like a dark path, or they could get taken advantage of, or have pictures be leaked. Like there's a lot of dangers to it that actually on TikTok, I like how there's people that will give advice on stuff like that. What to know, getting into it.
There's a lot of podcasts too. I went through this like really big K-hole once for like 3 months where I like listened to all these sugar daddy podcasts, and there's ways to do it really safely and to avoid trauma. And the people that do these podcasts are like, I did this all wrong. And like, because you can still get raped in those situations, or you could still be taken advantage of it. So there's like ways to, but some people do want to find work in do want to work in the sex industry.
Yeah.
And there is a safe way to do it. So there is a lot of content, but sometimes I do get worried. With young people.
Well, that's like Lana Rhodes, who was dating one of the guys from the Impulsive podcast. That's how she kind of got a little more mainstream, I think. But she has a podcast too, but she just had a baby. She's probably like early 20s, and she did make a lot of money. She was only a porn star for a year, I think, and she made a lot of money, but she says now that she's completely traumatized and that she like can't even like have normal sex anymore.
Well, so exactly.
She's like turned asexual because of it.
Yeah. So, I mean, at what cost?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. What do you think about how the Kardashians keep bringing up Kim's sex tape when they didn't talk about it forever, and now they're like revisiting that? Like they were just talking about it on Jimmy Kimmel, James Corden. It was James Gordon, I think, or whatever. Yeah,
their new like talk show to. Like they used to be Ellen go to. Now they're like James Corden all the time. I think I'm like, is this real? Like Ray J is coming out and saying that he signed a contract with Vivid, and so did Chris, and so did Kim, and that it wasn't like a leaked sex tape. It was like,
he said they even went and refilmed
refilmed parts. So I'm just like, Chris, what kind of
operation are we running over here?
Are you? Yeah. I'm already mad at her for letting her 17-year-old date an adult.
Yeah, and
look what
her face.
And look what happened to her. Like, I mean, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I know. I'm wondering why, because like I was listening to Heather McDonald's podcast and she's always said this because she worked on Chelsea Lately. And that was a show like when the Kardashians first came out, if people don't know about it. And they were one of the only people that would have the Kardashians on because everyone was like, no, they're stupid reality TV people. We don't want them to be on.
Yeah.
And they would go on to Chelsea Lately and Heather McDonald worked there and she would always say, the only thing you were absolutely not allowed to talk about was the sex tape. But now, like, their Hulu show started with the sex tape, with the Roblox thing. They had the Kanye drama with the sex tape about getting the computer.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about it again. I'm like, they clearly
I feel like now they're trying to be, like, badass. Like, before they were, like, trying to be very curated and like high level, and now they're like trying to be like, we're just like you. We have like OnlyFans and like we're really sexy. Like Kim's new sweatsuit line, I was looking at it on her thing and I'm like, I just feel like some of the pictures are a little immature.
Let me look
like,
at it.
Just as, because me and Kim are the same age.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you stop by my house, I'm wearing a massive sweatsuit at all times. It's actually really embarrassing.
Oh, I wear my husband's clothes.
And my
24/7.
husband's, I think, starting to get mad. He's like, wow, you look comfortable. He said that to me the other day.
My husband gets mad not because of the way I look, but he's like, honestly, you can't keep stealing my clothing because then I have nothing to wear. I'm like, but your t-shirts and sweaters are so comfortable.
I know. So this is...
Oh, yeah, I'm looking at it.
Like, she's in a locker room. Like, you're not in high school. I'm sorry.
I would love to know, like, from a marketing perspective, who her demo is. Like, who buys her stuff? Is it
like this?
16
This gives me like college girl vibes.
Yeah, it gives me
because they're like eating Cheetos in an elevator. They're at like a 7-Eleven. I'm just like, this isn't you though, Kim. Like your body cost $1 billion and you're at a 7-Eleven in a sweatsuit. Like it's just.
Her in the way we're looking at her social media right now to do this, but the way she has her pants rolled down is so 90s. I used to do that all the time.
Like this is just giving me teenager vibes.
Yeah, no, it is. And that model looks exactly like Chloe.
Yeah, I know. So I'm like, come into your womanhood.
Yeah, I know. I really do think they're grasping at straws, and I think bringing back the sex tape is, I don't know, I think it's kind of more signs that they've really peaked. And I think
we need some new role models around here, people.
Yeah, I think they're on their way out.
Yeah, I think so too. We'll see.
We'll see.
We're still
TBD.
talking about them.
Exactly.
We'll know they're on the way out when we don't have anything to say.
Exactly.
All right, guys. Next week, we're going to come back with a special deep dive episode, and we're going to be talking about celebrity diet culture, which is honestly astounding.
Yeah, if anybody wants to prep, go to Harper's Bazaar.
What I Eat in a Day?
Yeah, go to Celebrities What I Eat in a Day.
Or Celebrity Food Journal or something. It's really sad
go
when
on
someone
YouTube.
says they eat a chocolate-covered almond once a year for a treat. Not a bag, one.
Or that they take a chip from their husband. Or when David Beckham says the happiest day of his life was when his wife
shared a plate with him one time. And she was pregnant.
She was pregnant
with their
Hopper.
Fourth child.
Yeah.
One time they shared a plate together. He's never seen her eat anything other than vegetables and fish.
And steamed fish, yeah.
Yeah.
Except for one time.
One time.
Can you imagine?
I'm triggered.
I know.
I'm triggered.
I'm triggered.
Okay,
So,
I have to go to therapy because I'm triggered.
yeah. All right. Have a good
Okay.
week, guys.
Love you.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.